Language is everywhere. It's how we connect to each other, and it's vital to our social, cognitive, and academic growth. But there's a lot of variation in language development, and it starts in childhood. The factor most correlated to this variation is something called socioeconomic status, a measure of social standing that typically combines education, income, and occupation. As you can imagine, this has caused an achievement gap between high SES kids and low SES kids, which is something that's gotten a lot of recent attention from educators, policymakers, and even researchers. So I specifically wanted to understand how this achievement gap affects the neural processing of language. Because maybe if we can understand the neuroscience of how high SES versus low SES kids process language, we can have more informed ways of helping close the gap. Neuroscientists have in fact found some evidence that SES does affect the brain, but there is still so much more to be understood about the causes and consequences of SES. For my research, I placed kids in MRI machines, and while the MRI is imaging their brain, they play a couple word games. For example, they might hear two words, and then they determine whether those two words have any of the same sounds. We do this same sounds game because the ability to distinguish different sounds in words has been correlated to future reading ability. Preliminary analysis show that even if kids from high SES versus low SES are equal in language ability, they still use different brain regions during the same sounds game. Beyond that, this research could yield some pretty cool findings. It has important implications for mainstream and remedial education practices, and in a small way is taking part to help kids that might be set back by something outside their control. Language shouldn't just be everywhere, it should be for everyone.